Lisa, did you just say goodbye to Emily? That was adorable. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to December and welcome to Get Moving Middleton. Absolutely thrilled to have you here. Can't believe it's the 1st of December and we've got sunshine and almost 50 degrees, but I will take it. So happy to see so many familiar faces and also some new faces. This morning, our program is sponsored by ePac, Flexible Packaging. Our annual sponsors are MGNE, Marco Technologies, Premier Retirement Partners, and Hilton Garden Inn. So props, big round of applause to all of those businesses who support this program and allow us to provide it to all of our members, followers, and friends for free. All right, this isn't our first rodeo, but we're gonna go through etiquette anyway. Kristen will turn on closed captions if she hasn't already. If you don't want those on, there should be a button that says CC or closed captions. You can click that off. Two things, if this is our virtual way of networking and getting to know each other. So if you don't have your full first name, last name, and possibly your business on your personal screen, Zoom screen, you can do that by hovering over the video, clicking on the 3 dots, and then renaming. That way everybody knows who they're talking to. And then we will also do a virtual business card pass on Friday. Kristen will send around a spreadsheet of anybody who registered so that you can make one-on-one connections with anybody who attended today. I would ask that you not just upload all of the contacts and start spamming everybody. This is really for one-on-one contacts. If you don't want your email address included, please let Kristen know by the end of the day tomorrow, because like I said, that will go, or end of the day today, because like I said, that will go out tomorrow. Be sure to check our website, middletonchamber.com, for community events, member news, and job postings. Remember that we have a resource page, so we do still provide up-to-date information on COVID resources at the federal, state, local level. We also provide resources for Connect for Change, and we've added free personal development programs that are put on by our members. So be sure to check out our resource page, and you can get to that from our homepage. We do record all of our events, and you can find those on our YouTube channel. So check that out. We've had some really great speakers this year, a couple national speakers. So make sure you head out. Some really fantastic hints and tips. We do have our holiday hours on our calendars. So if you're wondering what days we're in office and available, you can find that there. I want to make sure that the team gets to celebrate the holidays with their family. It seems like this year we might actually be able to extend those holiday gatherings a little bit, hopefully. And as far as 2022 events, we a week ago thought we knew exactly where we were headed, and like everything else over the last 2 years, we may have to pull back a little bit. But as of right now, we do still plan on having an in-person business social hour in December. You can find that on our website, and Chris and I think we'll talk a little bit more about that. And our January GMM at this time, as of this minute, we will have that in person as well. We do highly recommend that masks are worn when you're not eating or drinking, and vaccinations are recommended as well, if you're able to get the vaccination. All right, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to the famous Lisa Kwan. Lisa.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. So I get the fun stuff this morning. The first is, if you don't already follow us on social media, you really should. It's an awesome way to keep more up to date on everything that's happening with the chamber, see some fun photos, and get information on our newer members. Next up for me are our membership milestones. So lots of people on this list. I know AJ is here this morning, as well as Rick from Asbury. So congratulations to those for their membership milestone. And just thank you to all of our 51 members who renewed with us in November. So moving into our new member introductions. First up is Laura from Bene Blends. And you might have heard Laura give a little bit of info about what she does, but at Bene Blends, you're going to know exactly what goes into each of their freshly blended bowls, smoothies, and juices. But their mission really is to create a positive impact on a larger scale by giving back. So if you want to learn more, stop in. They are opening next Friday. Otherwise, we're having a ribbon cutting soon, which you can find on our chamber website. Next up, we have Lolly Zip. And you may know Jill Dibdahl from the Dibdahl Design Group, but she kind of has this side hustle. And Lolly Zip offers travel kits with easy to fill FAA regulation bottles, as well as travel wear, with the goal of making your life easier in a really beautiful way. Next up, we have Jeff from Mathis Solutions. And Mathis Solutions is a consulting company focused on general business and HR. Jeff's out-of-the-box thinking can offer solutions to your hiring and business needs. Next up, we have Amy, Rowan, Kim from Millie's Vintage and Thrift Emporium. They're opening this coming Saturday at 9:45 with a ribbon cutting ceremony. And I can promise you, because I walked by it the other night, it's full of all the treasures that you don't need, but you want. And they are located in the heart of Cross Plains. Next up is Portillo's Hot Dogs. So Portillo's recently opened their 69th location on the west side of Madison. Each restaurant is unique, and the west side location is no different. You can stop in and enjoy more than a hot dog. They also offer burgers and some delicious chocolate cake. And they're located in the parking lot at Westtown Mall. Next up, we have Tandem Hr, and Laura is no stranger to a lot of us, having volunteered at a number of chamber events and being on our board of directors starting next year. Tandem HR is new to the area, having acquired QTI's Professional Employer Organization Division. Reach out to Laura or Abby, who's on this call, to learn more. Next up, we have Allison from WIBIC. So WIBIC works hard to achieve their goal of improving the economic well-being of individuals by advancing inclusive entrepreneurship. They focus on individuals who might face barriers in accessing traditional financing or resources. And then next up, we get to recognize our great ambassadors of the month. So let's give a big round of applause to Val and Jen. They were extremely instrumental in reaching out to our members over the last month. And my last session here is just our microgroup. So, we have a lot of really great microgroups. If you're interested in learning more, reach out to that point person. And if you want to start your own, you can certainly reach out to me and I can help you get that started. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Kristen Parent.
Lisa thinks she has all the fun, but I think I do. So, and shout out to Melissa Carlson, because my phone just dinged and she joined us on Instagram. So she's the winner of the special shout out. It's that we would love, like Lisa said, for you guys to follow us on our social media, just because it's a place for us to have fun and continue to connect with you guys. So I get the pleasure of running through the December events. Next week, Wednesday, we're doing an economic development session with Abby Attoon from the city of Middleton. So she's going to kind of talk about projects that happen in 2021 and then things that are on the radar for 2022 and going forward. So that's a virtual event starting at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. And also our business social hours next week, Thursday. So that's a 4 to 6 event at the Holiday Inn Hotel and Suites. They do a great job of decorating, very festive for the holidays. We'll have lots of great appetizers, cash bar available. Really looking forward to seeing you guys in person and kind of, rounding out 2021 and looking forward to 2022. And wanted to give you guys the inside scoop. So because you attended today, nobody else besides some people that are on the planning committee kind of know what we have in store for Sip Sample Socialize. So wanted to share exciting details. you guys are probably used to, if you've been a member for a while, of us hosting Sip Sample Socialize at the end of January. As Kate mentioned, our world is still a little unpredictable. We didn't know what January would look like with a mask mandate or gathering restrictions, and something about sipping, sampling, and socializing with a mask on seemed a little more challenging for us. So we are excited to announce that we are having Sip Sample Socialize in 2022. It will be in person, but we're moving it to May. So we're moving it to May 25th. It will be a semi-outdoor event at the Lakeview Park in Middleton. So that gives us the opportunity to enjoy the fresh air. Maybe not, masking, we'll see where we're at. Obviously, if you're comfortable wearing one and want to, please do, but we may not have to. We're just really excited to kind of give this a little bit of a shake up, but keep some of that traditional things about the event that we absolutely love. So very also excited to announce that One Community Bank will be our presenting sponsor. So they are opening a new location in downtown Middleton, and looking forward to highlighting their services as our presenting sponsor. So I hope you guys are excited as we are. Like I said, it's, keeping some of that things that we love about it, but maybe, shaking it up. Next year is actually our 70th anniversary. So we're adding a couple other S's to this. So it's Sip, Sample, Socialize, 70th Spring. That'll help you guys remember it. So watch for more details. We're going to be putting that information up on the website, social media. Tickets will probably go on sale, early 2022. As I mentioned, we already have a presenting sponsor, you guys. So these opportunities to be a part of the event, to brand your organization through the event, please reach out to me so that we can get you on that list to be a part of it. So anyway, I hope you guys are just as excited as we are as we move through planning that. Just a quick plug too, also on sponsorships. So we only have one on-track sponsorship left for next year, and only 1 month of Get Moving Middleton sponsorship, a monthly sponsorship. So if either of those might be of interest, I just want to plug that and have you guys reach out to me, and we can get you slotted in there. And I think then we are back to Kate.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kristen and Lisa. Couple things. I just want to welcome all the new members that are here today. Anybody who this is their first time and you may not be a member, we're so thrilled to have you here. A huge thank you to all of our anniversary members. We appreciate your partnership throughout the years. Congratulations to the ambassadors of the month. They are such a huge part of our organization and making sure that the voices of our members are heard, and helping us reach out and welcome everybody. So congratulations and thank you. Be sure to check out the economic development whenever there's a city update. It's very well attended. Abby does a fantastic job of giving really good information on everything that the city accomplished this year and what they plan for the year ahead. So be sure to register for that on middletonchamber.com. And again, reach out to Kristen. We have had some interest already in other sponsorships for Sip, Sample, Socialize, 70th celebrations, shaking it up. I don't know. Anyway, get a hold of Kristen if you're interested in that. All right, so moving on to our monthly sponsor. We have Joel Schmidt from ePac Flexible Packaging. Joel is a results-focused sales and business development manager with nearly 30 years of experience in packaging, labels, and specialty paper serving the food and beverage, pet care, and other industries. Joel joined ePac in 2019 as the Director of Business Development and transitioned to support the ePac Madison team as General Manager in the fall of 2020. I'll turn it over to Joel.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everybody here. I'm a relatively new member myself, just a year ago that I joined, and it's great to see the organization continuing to grow. It's been a great experience for me so far. If you're not familiar with ePac, we're a relatively young company. We're just 5 years old this year. We are a manufacturer of flexible packaging, primarily stand-up pouches. And our founders created a unique niche in the industry. They built a platform based on digital print and a service model that caters to small business and startup business. And it's been hugely successful. And the company has grown and expanded to, I believe it's 14 locations across the country today, as well as 4 functioning sites overseas, and plans to open numerous additional sites overseas in the coming year. But rather than listen to me speak about the success of the company, I thought it would be nice to share this video that our marketing team just put out, where our customers talk about what it's like to do business with ePac and how we've helped their businesses grow. So with that, if you guys don't mind running the video.
I went to sleep one night and woke up with this dream that I had, and it was to put whiskey in granola and call it Granarly.
After weighing 315 pounds, I decided to change my diet. By learning about all the junk that's in certain foods and a lot of stuff that I use to flavor my meals, I created Paleo Powder.
We started an LLC, found a shared kitchen, and started to make empanadas in the middle of the night.
Digitally printed flexible packaging is indeed an untapped market. Less than 1% of flexible packaging today is produced digitally. So there is a market that is just beginning to understand what the benefits are to digital printing. My name's Jowackum. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of ePac Flexible Packaging. We help small brands achieve big brand presence. These are often young entrepreneurs that are looking not only to go in their own direction in terms of forming a business, but they also have a social conscience, and they're trying to bring alternatives to the market.
Paleo Powder is an all-purpose seasoning and breadless breadings that are sugar-free, gluten-free, junk-free, designed to add flavor to any meal that you're cooking with. We started off as a seasoning company, so it was very easy to find bottles and stick a sticker on it. As we switched over to breadless breading, our problem is we didn't know where to start.
We started empanadas about 12 years ago. We care a lot about having the handcrafted quality of our product and using quality ingredients. We were hand packaging the empanadas into these cellophane bags, and it was a classic disaster. When you open up the box, the stickers had all fallen off, bags were breaking.
I've always wanted to start a business, and I dream really big. I was slaving away at night making granola and then selling it the next day. I would design something on my computer and print labels on sticker paper and cut them and paste them on my bags. I just realized we need something that looks amazing and that's ready to seal up and go. Reached out to ePac. We could do smaller runs. It was affordable. It was digital. I was like, yes, 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 and we went for it.
ePac was a game changer for us. We've been able to introduce new fillings and new varieties within a matter of weeks.
We have a really bright, bold, colorful brand, and we got the bags in. They were everything we wanted and more.
We actually got into Whole Foods, which is huge.
We wouldn't have been able to do it without it.
You know, we're in Walmart, we're in Sprouts, the package stands out. If I come up with an idea, I can have it out and on the shelf and rock and roll in 15 days. For someone to be able to give that to me as a startup and kind of me fighting against the world has just been huge.
We've actually been able to grow the business and hire employees, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without that packaging.
It was really important for us to find a partner that had sustainable packaging, and so we use post-consumer recyclables.
Right away I get comments on how beautiful my packaging is and how the colors stand out. It has transformed my business.
We've had a few larger grocery stores contact us after we've launched these pouches, which has been amazing just because we look ready for that next level. It's changed the whole game for us.
In all of those cities that we're in and cities that we're not in, there are literally thousands of these small and medium-sized brands, these young entrepreneurs that are looking to make a difference. Almost all of them turn into repeat customers. We learn every day about their challenges. We see them with their eyes just wide open, looking to move into a market and know that we can help them. And that is just the most gratifying feeling in the world.
So it's been a fun place to work. Really great working with a lot of these small companies. If you guys have questions, if we can help you in any way, please feel free to reach out. But otherwise, I look forward to the opportunity to meet folks in person in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you, Joel. It's always so interesting to see how significant something that we might just take for granted or not really think about deeply, how that changes a business and how it really helps a brand and the visibility that it gives over, you know, a slew of products in the supermarket. Having that, those bright colors and nice packaging, I'm sure makes a huge difference. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna jump in and echo that too, because I had the pleasure of going over to ePac and doing a tour, and I felt like a little kid on Christmas morning. I'm like, this is so fun. I mean, I had a hairnet on and safety glasses, so I looked great. But like, how cool that this is a company that was started here, and that they're helping brands and entrepreneurs all over the globe. It's just a really, really great organization. They do really cool things. And I told Joel that one day we're going to get us over there, because I think if you guys could see the inside, you'd be pleasantly surprised like I was.
Absolutely. Happy to do a tour, but yes, you will have to wear a hairnet and safety glasses.
And Jason Weaver, I agree. I skipped breakfast and I'm really hungry now. And if I don't get an empanada stat, I don't know what I'm going to do. Awesome.
Sorry about that.
All right. Our next speaker is Paul Kinney with the Middleton Endowment Fund. Middleton Endowment exists to enhance the quality of life in the Middleton area for present and future generations. Paul, a Middleton resident since 1998, has been the Emmy board person since early 2020. His term will be ending this month. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Paul.
Thank you. The Middleton Endowment was founded in 1991. And since its inception, the endowment has awarded tens of thousands of dollars to dozens of nonprofit organizations. Grants never exceed $1,000, and all grants awarded this year for this cycle were for the sum of $1,000. The endowment is governed by a board. Dan Chart is a board member, and I think if we can move to the next slide, you will see the names of them. There they are. Dan will be leaving us, and I want to say thanks to Dan for many years of dedicated service and wish him well in retirement. His departure leaves an opening on the board, so if anyone's interested, please contact me. As Kristen mentioned, my term expires soon. The new chairperson will be the fabulous Kari Oakes. I am now going to turn to the 2021 Fall Grant recipients. And the first one is Central Midwest Ballet. Please enjoy the following video.
We are Central Midwest Ballet's Accolade Ensemble. We are rehearsing exciting new choreography, which we will then perform for senior care residents at facilities across Dane County. Thanks for supporting Accolade Ensemble's mission, Middleton Endowment Fund. Thank you!
The next Fall Grant recipient is Luke's Closet, and I invite you to enjoy the following video.
On behalf of the all-volunteer Luke's Closet team, I'd like to thank the Middleton Endowment Fund for their recent gift of $1,000. With your funds, we were able to stock Luke's Closet with much-needed winter wear that we provide to foster, adoptive, and kinship care children. Imagine getting a call in the middle of the night that a foster child is arriving with just the clothes on their back. By providing clothing, Luke's Closet allows the caregiver to focus on loving the child, not the stress of providing for him or her. Thank you.
And the next fall grant recipient is the Middleton Senior Center. The Senior Center's mission is to enhance the lives of older adults in our community by providing programs, educational opportunities, emotional support, case management services, Meals on Wheels, and the dine-in program. The Senior Center has a 46 successful year history in Middleton. The goal of the grant is to bring greater awareness to the need for change in the equity and inclusion arena to older adults who thrived in a different time and generation. The Senior Center also wants to welcome people of different races and diverse backgrounds to join the center and find programs that are tailored to their individual interests. The center plans to feature speakers and topics on equity with the grant funds that were awarded to it. The next fall grant recipient is Gilda's Club, and I once more invite you to enjoy the following video.
Thank you for your support of Gilda's Club Madison. We provide free emotional support, cancer education, and hope to children and adults with any kind of cancer at any stage, as well as those who care for them. The art you're seeing here comes from our Curative Arts program and art show in 2021. Your support will help make this show possible in 2022 and encourage both teens and adults impacted by cancer to share their cancer experiences through therapeutic arts.
And the final fall grant recipient this year was the Benevolent Specialist Project. BSP Free Clinic is celebrating its 20th year providing free specialty care for uninsured low-income patients in Dane County. While there are other free primary care clinics in Dane County, BSP is the only free clinic that offers free specialty care. BSP is on track in 2021 to provide an estimated 1,200 free patient care visits, a 13% increase over recent years. Volunteer physicians and other clinicians at BSP represent 18 specialty areas. The majority of patients seen at BSP work low-wage jobs and either do not have employer-sponsored insurance or cannot afford the premiums. Since all medical care is provided by medical volunteers, every dollar donated results in $5 in direct patient care. So in closing, I want to thank everybody. Grants are only possible thanks to your generation, and your past support is truly appreciated. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, and thank you for supporting so many fantastic organizations that make such a difference to our community and the people that live in it. All right, next up we have Jason Weaver, unless he's off for an empanada. Hopefully he's
no, I'm right here. Thank you for having me this morning. But those do look delicious. I love empanadas, by the way. So
Jason is a prominent author and a thought leader in product innovation, digital marketing, and entrepreneurship. He founded and successfully exited from 2 technology companies, including Showlet, a leading social media management platform, and SpendSetter, a mobile loyalty platform. Today, Jason is the founder and CEO of AirDuck, an online document narration platform.
yeah, thank you. Well, my presentation is very different. I don't have any videos, so I just was going to tell you a story. Let me get my timer here, Kristen. My story is around Showlet, the first company that I started here in town. Some of you might know this company. It was founded in 2008. The company was acquired in 2013, and we're in the west side of Madison. We got up to about 120 people here in town. And it was a software company that did pretty well. Kristen reached out to me after a post that I put on LinkedIn. I just want to read you the post real quick because she liked it and asked me to talk about some of the entrepreneurial stuff. This was right after high school. I put on LinkedIn. I once applied to become a cable installer. Right after high school, I had no plans to go to college, by the way. And I remember stalker calling this guy, trying to get the job there, and he finally let me know I didn't get the job. So I decided to go to college. I graduated on the president's list at Ohio University. A few years later, I started my first software company and sold it. Second software company, sold it. Now I'm on my third software company. And the story that I like to part with there is I'm glad I never got that cable installer job. Right. Would have changed my life. Today, I'm the CEO and founder of AirDeck. AirDeck allows you to create, distribute, and track any narrated presentation. So a lot of times when you're sending over a presentation, a proposal, or a document, you do that via attachment in an email. AirDeck allows you to add narration to that so you can literally tell people what you're talking about with your voice on these documents. We have about 4,500 users now on the platform since we started a year ago. COVID's been good to us, and this whole presentation is about opportunity and crisis, so I'm going to talk to you about that. On the left-hand side, I still have a consulting group that I have here. I've helped many local companies get funding with getting their software programs together. And then also my own local company, AirDeck, we just received $3.9 million in funding for this product. I'd encourage you to check it out if you have time. It's airdeck.co, not .com, .co. .com was too expensive, so you can see there where you get that. And check it out. Let me know what you think. You can go to the next slide if you'd like. So I want to talk quickly about how I ended up in Madison. I know I only have 5 minutes. I'm going to go through here really quickly. I ended up moving here in the year 2000 to work for Sonic Foundry just in time to get laid off. So I was right here during the .com, .bomb kind of bubble. It was my dream job, and I didn't even consider, kind of having my first company until right after this. And this is like, right after college, came here to Sonic Foundry to Madison is how I ended up here. I moved here from Los Angeles, and I experienced the first cold winter that I had. It was quite a eye-opening experience for me as a guy that grew up in Florida. So anyways, if you go to the next slide, I'll tell you about that. After the layoff, I was in a restaurant one day, and I'm with then at the time, my son. He's now 17, but he was about a year or two at the time, I think. And you guys remember Bluefees, the restaurant? Yeah, so this was a Bluefees menu that they gave to the kids. And I had this idea for a software program, and I turned over I stole his menu. He wasn't that happy about it. And I drew on crayons, literally, the first idea for what would become my next company, Shoutlet. And this is a literal drawing that we have here from that. And above it, you can't see at my desk, I have a signature. I have this framed above my desk with 120 employees that signed this afterwards. This was the first version, literally started on the back of a napkin. But if you go to the next slide, I'll tell you a little bit story about that. Again, I'm just perfect with my timing. So I had moved here to Madison in the year 2000, right in time to get laid off from Sonic Foundry. And then I launched this company a few years later, with Shoutlet in 2008. You guys might remember this when the mortgage crisis, housing meltdown happened. And it was probably the scariest time to launch a software company. I'd taken a little bit of investment, but a lot of this was just me, grind it out, put it on my credit cards and home loans and stuff like that, as you hear. So it was really tough for us to start this company. Now, Shoutlet was a social media marketing tool. It's going to sound crazy now, but we were one of the first companies to partner with Facebook, right? So nobody knew what Facebook was back then. So I was going around the world talking to people about Facebook, and I was speaking Chinese, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So it was a perfect timing. What it ended up being the perfect time. If you go to the next slide, I'll show you this real quick. Anybody see the Forrest Gump movie, right? Well, this is what it felt like for me when Forrest Gump goes out, on the water in the hurricane, and he's competing with all these shrimp boats, and all the other boats got ruined. And then he came back with all the shrimp. It felt like that for us in social media. At the time in 2008, where I was really scared, it felt like that we came back with all the shrimp because people were cutting traditional advertising budgets, TV, radio, print, etc. And they are all interested in social media. So that catapulted our business. So you can go to the next slide. I think I'm out of time, though.
Okay, keep going.
All right. Anyways, oops, there we go. I set my own timer so I wouldn't go over. So we started building this business, and we started going through this, and I realized that we were also creating a new market. Like I said, I was going around the world talking about Facebook, and people were like, "What, Facebook?" Believe it or not, nobody knew what Facebook was back when I was starting out. And so one night I'm sitting there on my couch, and I saw this documentary about Jake Burton Carpenter when he was started his snowboard company. And what he said was something that changed my life. He's like, we were not succeeding selling snowboards in the beginning. We were going to surf shops and skateboard shops and stuff like that, and people had no idea what we were talking about. He goes, it's then that I decided that I found my customer on the top of every mountain, right? So I focused on the sport, and the product sold itself, right? And so I completely changed my sales and go-to-market strategy, right? I decided to become the expert in Facebook, and I went around, I wrote a book that got published by McGraw-Hill. I went and gave speeches all around the world about how to get your business on Facebook. I focused on promoting the sport, which at the time was Facebook marketing, and Shoutlet sold itself. That documentary changed my life. So, all right, if you go to the next one. Sorry, I'll go through as fast as I can. The next part that we had was market adoption, which was really tough for us. So, I used to have it was a software program that we were selling. And I used to have this software program. I'd go in and meet with somebody like, let's say like Nike or something. And they say, again, this is the early days of social media. They're like, Jason, it sounds great. Your product sounds great. We don't know what we're doing in social media yet. So, let us figure that out and come back to us, and we'll see about licensing your platform when we figure it out. That happened so many times that I created what we called our Trojan horse strategy, which was we started selling research and consulting services. I called it a social media map, where I'd go into the next customer like a Nike, and they say, Jason, we don't know what we're doing in social media, et cetera. Let us figure it out. And I go, actually, we do. We know what you should be doing in social media. We have a research team that can go out and analyze what your competitors are doing, right? What you should be doing in social media, and come back to you with like a 100-page strategic plan. How's that sound? Great, we'll take it. Those services, those strategic services we sold were the gateway to our platform, and that helped change our business as well. So, all right, go ahead. I only have a couple more, I think. The other thing that I learned early on in our business too is that when everybody was focusing on the top brands, we were focusing on the B brands, I'd call it, right? So I gave an example of Nike, but I should have talked about Tom Shoes. We actually had Tom Shoes as the customer. As a small little company in Madison, Wisconsin, you can imagine when I was competing against companies out of New York City and Los Angeles and Silicon Valley, it was hard to go after these big brands. So we had what we call this inside out strategy. It started with going after all the B brands. We know that all the competitors of ours were going after Nike. So we went after Tom Shoes and Apple Bottom Jeans and everybody else besides the Levi's, Nikes, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So the other thing that was really hard for me too is what we wanted to say yes to and what we wanted to say no to. I still have this challenge today, by the way, with AirDeck, is figuring out what not to do. So I put together a list of all the no's that we wouldn't do. We were going to go after nonprofits. The sales cycles are too long. A lot of people wanted us to donate to that. We had to feed our employees, so we couldn't do that. Universities, they had to wait for grants and stuff like that. Politics, half my company was Republican, half of them were Democrat, and I wasn't going to get involved in that. So, and then no adult content, my mom would be embarrassed for me, and no tobacco, right? So I wasn't going to do that. So we focused on our ideal customer profile, and that's when we began to scale. You can go to the next one. The other thing is being in the Midwest actually helped us. I had a venture capitalist. We raised $25 million in total for Shoutlet. The last venture capital round that we raised here locally, they said they liked us because we were fiscally conservative. I think that's a polite way of calling me a cheap CEO, but it was it was really beneficial for us to have developers building a team here in Wisconsin versus Silicon Valley. So we also focused our customers around here too. Many of our customers early on were in Wisconsin, Pacific Cycle, American Girl, et cetera. So it really helped us to have those tremendously cool brands Rayovac first here in Madison that helped us go worldwide. Okay, go ahead. So, and then we finally got to the point where we needed to build a winning sales team, which was hard for us to do, but we were flattered that we started recruiting people from some of these top brands, right? And I had a strategy of only hiring people that I could learn from, which I was a first-time CEO at the time, so I couldn't, get everybody that I wanted in the beginning. So now we started having brands come in that we wanted to work with and people that came from these companies. We treated everyone equally, so we didn't have any kind of hierarchies in the organization. I think that was good. And me and my co-founder said we always look for smart people to get shit done. Their resume didn't really matter to us; it's just matter if they could do the job. So, all right, if you can go to the next one. Sorry, I'm trying. It's like I said, I tried to fit everything in 5 minutes.
No, you're good.
And creating a winning culture, I didn't really appreciate this. This is my last slide. I didn't really appreciate company culture, admittedly, like I should have in the beginning. Once we started hitting, 50, 60, 70 employees and people started having, we started having some employee turnover and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong here? Because, when you're the CEO, you have horse blinders on and all you're worried about is the next sale, the next account, et cetera. And I'm not walking around the office making sure that, everybody's demeanor is happy and they're doing well. And then, so I did this whole study. Actually, I hired somebody to help us in company culture. And I realized that having a good company culture, I wonder if you guys agree or not, is about people understanding how important they are to the bigger mission of the company, right? It's less about, like we had pool tables and kegerators and all that stuff in the office, but that didn't really sell people on company culture. It was like, how important am I to this company, right? How do I understand my role in building this vision? And so it really came down to us having a really structured workflow, everybody knowing completely what we're doing and communicating that frequently. And we'd never had a problem hiring after that. We actually had a waiting list of people that wanted to apply for our company for years to come. All right, that's it. Last slide. So, asked to talk about entrepreneurship. These are the things that I've learned along the way, and I continue to do this for companies that I'm involved with, as well as the company that I have now. Is be resourceful, like the Bubba Gump shrimp boat stuff. I've always found a way to get around sales, even now. Even when COVID broke out, Air Deck took off, right? So when the housing crisis happened, Shoutlet took off. So I look for those opportunities in crisis. I monetize every step of our sales process too. So one of the things about selling that research and those strategy pieces in the beginning to sell our software, people are actually paying us to write their proposal, if you think about it, right? So we are selling that research, and then it was a gateway to our platform. And then having a team of mentors, I don't think I need to tell anybody about that. Clearly, the Chamber, you guys have some fantastic members here. But I have continued to have a team of mentors that help me to this day. That's worked out well for us. And I'd say also perseverance. I remember watching that movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, and he's sitting there on the island, and one day the piece of plastic comes in, he builds a sail out of it and gets off the island. That's what it felt like for me early on, to be an entrepreneur and get that company going. And so I just had to go in every single day. It didn't matter if I failed that day, the next day was going to be different. So it really helped me keep my perspective and everything. Anyways, that's my story. So thank you. If anybody would like to keep in touch, there's so many of you on here, by the way, I recognize some of you. Good to see you guys. You can find me on LinkedIn, and also this is my personal email address. So thanks for having me today, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for giving us a peek into a little bit of your professional journey. It was extremely inspiring, and I love the fact that they always say the best ideas are sketched out on a bar napkin. I feel like the children's menu is the dad's version of that.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
That's super cool. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, guys.
Okay. So for those of you who this is your first time, let me give you a little information about what FaceTime is. This is an opportunity to network a little bit one-on-one ish. So small groups. Typically we do this at a round table, but here we are on a rectangular screen. So each person will go out into a breakout room. They'll introduce themselves and their company. So just your name and the company that you are representing. Answer the question of the day, and then make sure that you allow time for everyone to participate. And we have a fun one. What fictional family would you be a member of? What fictional family would you be a member of? And then make sure that you come back here for just final discussion and information.
You guys must have been having a great time in your breakouts, because usually when I click that button to close rooms, a few people start popping back right away and nobody came back. You guys are like, we're not done. We need more time.
Kristen, I got to tell you that I got to tell you who my family was, because I really like it. It's Crazy Rich Asians, only not rich and only average looking.
Got it.
All crazy though.
All crazy.
I like that. Mm-hmm. I was in AJ's group, and as always, he did not disappoint.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. The last GMM of 2021. Holy cow. Huge thanks to ePac Flexible Packaging. Sounds like we have a ton of people that want a tour, so we'll try to make that happen. Huge thank you to MG&E, Marco Technologies, Premier Retirement Partners, and Hilton Garden Inn for their annual sponsorship. We all thank them. If you see anybody, give them a high five, give them a nod, tell them thank you. And again, if you don't want your email address included in that virtual business card exchange that will be completed tomorrow, please let Kristen know by 5 o'clock today. Kristen@middletonchamber.com. Follow us on all of the social media. And thank you so very much for coming. And I hope, if you feel comfortable, to see everybody in person at the December Business Social Hour.
Yep. And shout out to Kevin Campos in the Avery Middleton Market for now following us on Instagram. So plug in the social media, you guys.
I love you all. Bye.